guys, what's up? I'm the Stormchild.
I'm Phil.
And finally, after 1.5 months now, we will do our album review to the brand new Nightwish album. It's not so brand new anymore, but the new Nightwish album.
The latest Nightwish album.
And the little CD, Human Nature.
Is it that? I thought it was Human Nature.
Yeah. Could be true. So yeah, but as we said in the other videos, we have taken our time to listen to it carefully. Yeah. And because we want to give the most honest opinion about it after 1.5 months, it's not as with the other albums we had years to listen to them. So
naturally, I don't know the album as in and out as I do know the other ones. But,
me too, definitely.
I've listened to it a handful of times.
Yeah, me too.
More than several handfuls of times.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And the interesting part is this time we haven't talked about this album.
Not at all.
So I have no idea what he is thinking about it. So you have definitely an idea what I think about it through my reaction videos for a few songs of the album. Especially after the album came out, and I've done my first thought reaction video for the album. But it's interesting what he thinks also for me, and we wanted to keep that.
I didn't give him anything.
Yeah, and
it's like earlier we had a cigarette on his balcony, and I tried to keep my stone face going, my poker face.
And it was good. I have to admit it. I have no clue. I have an idea, but let's see how this.
How shall we approach this? General thoughts first, or shall we just go through the song list? By the way, I didn't listen to the second CD because I couldn't care less.
Yeah, I talked about that. Also, I will talk about the second CD a bit in the end, but I haven't listened to it so much. I think maybe 2.5 or 3 times, that is all. Because for me, I can tell you that as well, it's for me not a Nightwish record, the second CD, because it has nothing to do with Nightwish.
Again, solo project.
Yeah, because...
still, general thoughts first, or going through the track list one by one?
I think it's better because I don't know your...
What is better? Tell me!
I tell you, it's better we go through the songs, because then maybe I can get the idea what your overall thought is. Because when I know it first, then... For me, it's like, I know it already, and it's better to keep the secret as long as possible.
Okay.
So yeah, overall, my thoughts, of course, a good album, but you already know that, so that's no spoiler.
I'm not allowed to tell yet.
So yeah, the first song is called Music, and I was really curious about the title Music, because it's really unusual for a metal band to use a song that is called Music. I was thinking the first way when I heard this, when I read down the setlist before the album came out, of Madonna. Music makes the people...
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
That was my first thought.
But that song wasn't called Music, was it?
Yes, and that was my first thought. It's unusual for a metal band to use a track like this. That was my first idea.
Right.
So I know, I knew it's not going to be a Madonna cover or something.
Thank God for that.
Thanks God for that. But that was really my first attention when I... heard this thing. Maybe you saw my first thought reaction video for the track list. It went out in February or something, so that's a long time ago. But
if you haven't, check it out.
Check it out. You can find
it
on
by the
my
way,
channel.
we could say something in the beginning of a video for once. Hey, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and ring the notification bell. All that good jazz. You've heard that a million times on basically every channel on YouTube. So do it. So it doesn't cost you a thing.
Yes.
But you get good videos in reward. In the blah blah blah.
Well, most of the time. Every time. But the good thing is already, maybe you saw our countdown to Human Nature album review videos, and in the last one, in the first sentence you said it's going to be a rant. And this time you haven't said that.
I'm not allowed to give general thoughts about this record.
but I know you well, and
I'm not allowed to.
yeah.
Hey, I keep my stone face going
But I
for as
don't
long
think-
as I possibly can.
Honestly, I don't think it's going to be a rant. It's curious. So we start still with music. So the first time I listened to it,
I have sweaty feet.
oh my god, I was in shock. Really, I was like, I have no idea what to do
Let me
with
make
that
an
song.
educated guess. It was the vocal line.
No, it was so the beginning with this 3-minute intro. Okay, for me it would be better if they have chosen this as a separate track.
Yeah.
We both are fan of
I
that.
do agree.
So I understand it now because it fits to the song and how the album is introduced.
Yeah.
But I'm still not a fan of these long intros, and the song is in this intro song within. Because it would be better if music
If
would...
it would be skippable.
Yeah.
However,
But the intro, it was interesting.
he doesn't want to hear my thoughts. Does he?
No, not yet. I want to tell my thoughts first. Yes, it's really like that. To keep you also a bit...
In suspense.
Yes. So, what I realized, okay, I knew, okay, it is an intro, and it's going to be orchestral. But then I realized he uses synthesizer sounds.
Yeah.
And that was the first thing, that was a good way to start, because I was surprised. Because
It's so hard to keep my stone face.
yeah, and now you can tell only about the intro what you think.
Only about the intro.
Yes.
Too long.
Oh yeah,
It is too long, especially since it starts very soft. And you know, listening to the album on a loop, every time I'm like, what did the loop stop? It's like it's so silent.
Yeah.
If you haven't cranked your
Yeah.
radio up, you don't realize that the loop has started over. It's too long for a non-skippable intro.
Yes, I.
But in general, I gotta say I do like the intro, especially since, of course, there's good melodies in there, and I really like that sequencer bit in there.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's great. And on top of all that, I don't know if you have noticed, or if I'm maybe completely awfully wrong with that, but there is some resemblance of themes that come later in the album. Like, for example, there's a bit of the intro that sounds a bit like Harvest.
I haven't noticed that, to be honest.
Yeah,
So I
I-
have
I-
to listen to it again to realize that.
I tried to make out all the songs that, I mean, by default, there's a bit of music in there as well.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find like every track off the track list in the intro. But I'm pretty sure that, you know, since I'm pretty certain that there is one bit resembling the song Harvest in there, that there is probably a bit for every song on the record in this intro, which would be a genius move.
Yeah, like the Imaginarium outro in reverse.
Basically,
Yeah. I haven't noticed that, to be honest.
Maybe I'm completely wrong, because as I said, I couldn't find every song of this record in the intro.
Because normally we listen to the album before we shoot our videos again, and we haven't done it because we don't want to talk about that before the video. I think this time we're going to listen to the album afterwards.
Yeah, I think so too.
So
I
yeah,
think so
but
too.
I knew that you're gonna like also this sequence synthesizer stuff.
Yeah.
Because
Also,
also
it was something unusual. It was surprising,
new, fresh.
and on the same, like at the same time, it felt dated.
Yeah.
Like from a creating music standpoint, but for a band like Nightwish, taking a step back in that regard was a huge step forward.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it got me, and you know, I do like the intro, even though it is a bit long, and if I want to listen to the song music, I would prefer if I could skip it.
I absolutely agree with it, but I think if it would be skippable, I still would listen to it.
Yeah.
Because it's
give me the option.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But that is the point. So it is absolutely bearable to have this intro, because I don't want to miss it, because this song has to start that way.
Well, if we're talking about that,
Yeah.
I have to jump ahead a little bit
Okay.
to the ending of the song,
Okay.
which is just ingenious that
Yeah.
they have this little reprise of,
Yeah,
of the main
absolutely.
theme.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it was well thought out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and that would feel out of place if the intro wasn't there.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, so it works in a curious way.
yeah.
We can say that.
Yeah.
So it's, but it was absolutely surprising in some way.
To say the least.
Because Nightwish doesn't use intros so much in albums.
True
so
that. True that.
in Imaginarium we have this taka 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 taka. And it's taika 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 taiba taika talvi.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of an intro, but not the classical way. So other bands use a lot of intro, like really a classical intro,
Yeah.
and Nightwish has never done it before.
No.
And this is the first album you have really introduction, and that was so surprising.
You can technically not call it an intro because it's part of the song
Yeah,
music.
yeah, but
So,
that,
technically speaking, they still have not done that yet.
yeah, yeah. But it feels.
It feels like one. Yeah,
it feels
true.
like, but I like it. So, but now to the song. After hearing the intro the first time, it was just like, okay, I knew it's not going to start like bam. It was just like obvious that they're going to start silent, which I like. And when Flo starting to sing, it was just like, okay, this is cool. It's a cool way to start a metal album. Just something different and new, exactly what I wished for when we talked about Endless Forms Most Beautiful, something new and fresh. And it sounded from the very first note really new and fresh for me as a long-time Nightwish listener. Just like, oh yeah, this is cool because it's different. And that was also the first idea. This album is going to be a different way than the previous album, Endless Forms Most Beautiful, which was the first sign that I'm gonna like it. And it was so cool to listen to it because, and when the first chorus kicked in with them, and it's the first time I was really shocked, like, okay, I have no idea what to think about that. But afterwards, I really like it, and it's one of my favorite songs on the album, I can tell it so far, because it's really beautiful and fitting to the title music as well. Also with the lyrics and everything, because it's just beautiful. But just to the first chorus, what are your thoughts?
Well, are we gonna break it down that narrowly?
Yeah, because
this is gonna take forever.
Yeah.
Hell's fucking
That's
balls.
okay.
All right. Okay. First, let's start off with the vocal line. At first, it threw me off hard. I was like, "All right, this is weird."
Yes.
So that's not to say that I did not like it. It was just it threw me off so hard that I at first couldn't. I didn't know what to make of it. It's extraordinary, and at first I didn't know whether I was gonna like it in the long run or not.
For me, what is the same thing?
Different with the first chorus though, because the chorus are like from the get-go. And so I really, by now, do like it a lot, but at first it caught me off guard. I was like, okay, what the fuck is actually happening? Which is a very good sign for a record that I didn't have high expectations for. I really had low expectations for this record.
Yes.
Like below zero expectations. Because I know people are gonna hate on me for that, but so to speak, I was over it after Endless Forms Most Beautiful,
and after the first single Noise,
which we're gonna come to in a
yes,
second.
definitely.
So I was really over it. I was like, okay, we're gonna get the same thing over again.
Yeah.
And this was this was a clear sign of, hell no, you're on the wrong track.
Yeah.
So this far, I really like the record. Plus, on top of that, may I say something about the production? I mean, it's not only for this song.
It's way better.
It is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire fucking record.
Because it feels natural.
Somebody, either in the band Nightwish or in the production team, or maybe at Nuclear Blast, might have had the same opinion about the production of the last record. So to all you guys who did not agree with me saying, hey, the production was lacking in some departments, suck it. All right? They changed stuff for the better. Everything is sitting right where it belongs.
Absolutely.
The drums finally come through as punchy once again.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some people probably complaining that the guitars in some parts are too soft. It's fitting the song, for fuck's sake.
Especially music.
Especially music. And the sound of this record,
It's
the
amazing.
sheer sound of this record is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
A+ throughout the record.
Absolutely, because you can really feel difference between the tracks and the feeling and exactly
The dynamics
what
are
was
there and-
missing on the last album, because as we talked about that, it was just like everything was on high level, and this time it was just like you can hear they slow down, they go up,
I mean, you can
up.
still hear the compression working.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine. That's part of modern production.
That's okay.
And it's not, in your face compressed.
Yeah.
The songs can breathe where they need to, and they are compressed where they need to be.
Yeah.
And speaking of production, the leveling of the mixing engineer is just nuts. It's just nuts, especially with the song music and the choruses. Come on, the fucking backing vocal tracks.
But all over the whole record,
Throughout the
backing vocals are amazing in this record.
It's lunatic. It's lunatic. So from a production standpoint, this is probably the best production Nightwish has delivered so far.
With that amazing sound overall, definitely.
Especially since they narrowed down at least. I don't know if they have used any orchestra, because I heard that they didn't use orchestra on this.
They have.
Yeah, sparingly though.
Yeah.
But
Thanks.
Yeah, I thought, okay, there is orchestra in this record.
Yeah.
But, it's used sparingly. And fucking hell, again, taking a step back was a huge step forward, because it made the whole production process, I believe, a shitload easier, which gave them time to focus more on what's important.
Yeah.
And especially, if you had to choose one melody line to play live in our narrow little world, would you choose something mediocre if you had to narrow it down to one melody line? Or would you rather use something that is truly sounding beautiful?
Yeah.
And I think this is what this came down to.
Yeah.
It's just they really focused on what they wanted to have on the record, because they didn't have the entire fucking spectrum.
Yeah.
So this is what I was feeling this far, especially production-wise.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, because you can hear it from the very first second. That is...
And especially trying out new sounds.
Yeah, all over. Especially that the orchestra is not like in your face.
Yeah.
And a lot of keyboard sounds in it, synthesizer sounds, effect string.
Come on, we can't do it like every second per second.
It was just like...
especially from the 6-minute mark on out in the song music.
Yeah.
This is true old school Nightwish.
Yeah, when
it
gets
is old
a
school
bit more
Nightwish.
creepier in the melodies.
It's now beautiful.
Yeah,
Do you find it creepy?
it's just like you can't because in the last album, Nightwish has used melody. You have the verses and the chorus.
Yeah.
Going straight the way, it's going to be beautiful. And after the second chorus, they changed the mood.
Yeah.
That is what I meant with the creepy feeling, because it is creepy in comparison to the other stuff before.
Well,
that is what I mentioned.
I think they found back to beauty.
Yeah, because it is just like, when I first heard that, it was just like, I had the same feeling. Oh, yeah, that is exactly what I felt in love once.
Yeah.
Yeah, because...
And by the way, we old school Tiger lovers not talking the singer. We're talking the music.
And
this was, all you guys who are claiming that we are wrong because we only like the old stuff, tell me that you don't like this part of the song. Because we do, because it sounds like the ingenious piece of art that we fell in love with.
Absolutely. And in the end, it was just like what I also absolutely
I think
liked.
I gave it away, Baba. I really think people have a hunch about how I feel about this record.
Yeah, but that was also my idea, so I'm not surprised, but glad to hear that, because that makes this video a lot more easier for me, that we have more or less, as on every album, the same opinion in the main thing about it. Also, what I really like about music is the thing before the last chorus, when it gets completely silent for 2 seconds or something, and then it comes music, and it's just like, damn,
Even talking about it gives me fucking goosebumps.
fucking hell, yeah. It's just like, that is great songwriting.
Yeah, it
so
is.
Thomas can still,
He still has it in it.
Absolutely.
In him. It's
definitely, because it is so an unusual track.
It's inspired.
Absolutely.
It's inspired.
Yeah. And that is so great to hear. I needed a few runs to really get the feelings.
Me too.
But because in the first way I was
wasn't-
just like so.
But it wasn't a chore.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I have to listen through
No,
this
no,
again
no.
to
It was just like,
to
I want
finally
to
get
listen to it.
myself to like it.
No.
it was very easy. It was like, the fuck is going on? Let me listen to that again so I can figure it out.
That was exactly what I've talked also in one of my reaction videos. I went to my beautiful girlfriend by train, and I hadn't so much time, and the album just came out, and I was just like, okay, I need this on my MP3 player, because I can use my phone for it doesn't matter, and because my phone is broken as hell. But it was just like
literally like
it.
Well, we don't show brands and shit,
Yeah.
but he has the Spider-Man app right there.
Yeah, and this.
And it's broken from the inside as well.
Yeah, and this cell phone is over 7 years old. So this is my third phone ever in my life. So I'm really using my things till the end, till they die. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is that I had the feeling I need to listen to the album on this train ride.
Okay.
Because it was just like, and I want to start it with music, because that is the absolutely
opening
best
track.
opening track, because it
Of this record.
absolutely represents what's coming in a perfect way. It's just like,
However, I have to disagree with something that you have said, not on this video, but when you first told me about this record,
Yeah.
basically, that you had it and whatnot, and you were like, yeah, I wasn't too convinced about this record unless or until I listened through it for I don't know, a couple of times.
Yeah.
And since I already gave it away that I'm pretty much positive about this record, I didn't have that. It was
Okay.
like, from the first time music ended, I was already convinced. Like, with every song, except the next one.
yeah, I know.
From the first listening, I was like, okay, this is good. I didn't know whether I like it or want to, listen to it over again. But each song I knew, okay, this is good.
Yeah. I think I was too nervous. I already told that in my first thought album review. That I barely wasn't able to sleep well at night. That is no
Really?
joke. That is no joke. I was also surprised by myself, because it was just like, okay, I knew they're gonna hit it on midnight, the new album. And I went to bed, I think, at 11 p.m. 11 p.m. 11 p.m. if
Elf
you know it.
yourself. If you
Yeah.
don't know the website, check
Yeah.
it.
And it was just like, it doesn't matter. But I was really like in my bed, and it was just like, okay. Because I knew myself earlier, I would wait until midnight. It felt like I was 17 again, like I was running to the store for once. And on the next morning, I woke up, I think, at 7 a.m. or something. I haven't done a breakfast or something. It was just like, okay, now I have to listen to it. and that was also a great thing, that I was, after all these years, after 20 years, I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it.
It's jealous.
Yeah, and I just can't hide it.
I'm about to lose control and I think I like it.
Yeah, but I liked it, and that's a good thing about that. But I was just so nervous that also that I have said with the Once album that I want to listen to every song at the same time. I had this feeling, and that was so great, because I haven't that feeling in years.
That's so weird because I went into it with a completely different mindset. I was like, okay, this new Nightwish record is out. I have to listen to it because I promised that I'm gonna do a Stormchild Reacts. That was my mindset.
Yeah,
I was like,
I know.
fuck. So for the first week and a half or maybe 2 weeks when the album was actually out, I couldn't get myself to listen to this record because I was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I understand.
In hindsight, that was one of the poorest decisions ever made.
Yeah, that can happen.
Shit happens.
Yeah, but
I'm only human.
Yeah.
That's our nature. All right.
and then we come to the second track, Noise. So we talked about that a lot in other album review videos because that was the first single. And as you may noticed, we aren't such great fans about the song Noise. In comparison, when I just listened to it alone as the first single, which I now understand after listening to the whole album that this is the single just from the whole record company, blah blah blah, that it sounded like Nightwish, you know it, because the rest
Okay,
of the...
stop right there. I have to give my thoughts to the song. Okay, as you all know, I said in a different video that I fucking hate noise, which I was totally wrong about. It's like the song in context of this record is not only less hateable, but pretty much likable, actually.
That is so cool that you have the same because
It's in
I was afraid
context.
to tell that.
No, it's in context of this record. It makes absolutely perfect sense to have a song like that.
Yeah.
Because none of the other songs on the record sound like Endless Storm's Most Beautiful. And by the way, it's refreshing on this record to have a song that sounds like Endless Storm's Most Beautiful on it. So I do not have any issue with the song at all any longer because I had the rest of the album on my hand.
Yeah, because I think that is exactly the problem. We are absolutely...
I was biased.
Yeah,
I was biased towards songs that sound like Endless Storm's Most Beautiful because I really do not like that album too much.
And that was the mistake, that was the first single.
Yeah, and I was like, oh fuck, we get the same thing over again, and I was so angry. And you all know that. If you're angry, your brain doesn't operate the same way as when you're not.
As he said, in context of the whole album, that song makes sense.
Yeah, and it's perfectly fine. And I noticed stuff in the song that I really like that I just overheard the first time listening through because I was like, oh fuck. It was like, literally, I was just so annoyed by the thought of having a song. I didn't even notice that the production was better, for fuck's sake. And on top of all that, I really hated the fucking music video. I know that everybody and their mother loved the video for being so blah, blah, blah.
I hate it too.
I hate it. I hate it. Like, it grinds my guts.
Yeah, I can't watch it anymore. So
no, and preaching to the priest is like, come on, dude. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, because
but the song itself is surprisingly good in context of the album.
Yeah, but I'm so glad that you say that because I was a bit afraid to tell that. I also told that in my Shoemaker reaction video, which is the next song, that I have not a problem with noise anymore in context of the album.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense also that
and it's catchy as hell.
that was the first single, because when you are the record company, and I know Nightwish have their own decision which song is used by the single by now because they are the most selling band of the company. But yeah, of course, with the fans that came along with the Floor era in 2013, you definitely need
I wonder if they like this record. Is it just Floor Mania?
This is really a curious thing. Also, I'm in a few Facebook groups of thing about Nightwish because it's really interesting, and I think the most fans are just like, okay, we need to love it. We told that also in other videos and mentioned that when you are just so a fan and so hyped, you just have to love it and you learn to love it.
Yeah, but eventually you will fall flat.
Yeah, but that is, I think Also, talking about Floor on this record is way better than on Endless Forms Most Beautiful.
Yes, because her room had her voice had the room
Yes,
to actually
absolutely,
breathe.
absolutely, because they uses her voice in every way possible.
Except growling, I didn't find any growling on
Yeah,
this record.
but
And no shrieks from
yeah,
Floor.
yeah, that is what we needed, a whole growling song by Floor. That was what we wished for. But it wouldn't make sense on this album. No.
Maybe on the next one.
Yeah, maybe on the next one. Maybe they have
At this point,
something.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Because they really got me.
Absolutely.
It's like I'm back on the train.
Yeah,
basically.
For me too. So I think we're through with Noise. So we have to admit we were wrong with the first thoughts.
So thumbs down for us.
Yeah.
Thumbs up for Noise.
Yeah.
After all,
Yeah.
it's like I hate to admit it.
That is the bad thing about singles coming up before the album comes out, because when you have an album like this, you have the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
I'm one of those guys who actually listens to albums still. Not
Yeah.
only pick my raisins from YouTube,
Yeah.
I listen to an album, and thank God for that, because otherwise I would still hate Noise.
absolutely. And now we come to track 3, one of my favorites. Also, I have done a reaction video.
Do
but
I have different favorites on this record?
Yeah,
Feeling
also,
wise,
absolutely. But feeling
structure
wise,
wise, and so on and so forth.
Shoemaker is something for many reasons that really catches me and surprises me as hell. That is just like,
What are you talking about? The opening bits or the ending bits? No, we'll get to that. Sorry.
everything about
Every
it.
fucking thing about it is like it's true. It's true.
Because also this is a track without a chorus, and I think, can I remember a Nightwish song without a chorus?
Yeah.
Really?
Which might be one of your favorite Nightwish tracks ever, maybe.
Yeah, okay, Beauty of the Beast. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But that was also when it starts and you hear keyboard melodies.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh my god.
Hey, by the way, back to music. Again, 6-minute mark. Check out the keyboard sounds.
Absolutely amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
But with Shoemaker, it just started and was just like, oh, they did it again.
Yeah.
And that is what we also told in the other album review videos. We want that back because it's a big part of Nightwish, and that
Yeah.
makes it so beautiful.
And just because it mimics something and doesn't sound quite like it doesn't make it sound bad.
Yeah.
So it has its own quality because of that. And I personally do like that quality. I do like keyboard sounds.
Absolutely.
If they're chosen.
That is a big part of Nightwish. What also is a big part why I'm playing keyboard by myself is Nightwish, because of this keyboard thing.
Yeah.
And also when the song kicked in with this unusual rhythm,
Yeah, the odd time signature.
it's just like,
Yeah.
that is just like something that hit.
Dude, it took me some time to notice, actually. Because,
Really?
Yeah, because, you know,
But I think Nightwish never uses this. I think it's 7/8 rhythm.
no, it's actually 2 measures of 3/4 and then 2 measures of 4/4.
Okay.
So
I'm not an expert in this.
they
So
used
it's
7/8. They used before
Really?
the intro of Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So-
I'm not an expert in this. It's just like, that sounds so unfamiliar that it was just like, there is something different going on.
I noticed that there was something different, but feeling-wise, they don't get you in the situation where you're bobbing your head to the song and you're like, oh, what? I'm off. No,
No.
not at all. You're still in there, perfectly fine, and
Yeah,
it's
yes.
yeah.
I
So
was
that
just
did
thinking
throw me off. I noticed, okay, there's something off, but as you said, Nightwish don't do that too often, so I wasn't expecting that to make the difference in feel.
Yeah.
But it did,
Yeah.
and hey, thank God for that. I mean, this is probably my favorite song of this record when it comes to the song. Not maybe not the one that I prefer listen to the most. But from a songwriting standpoint, this is my absolute favorite of this record.
I think everybody agrees. This is also in the whole I call it Community, the favorite track, which was for me very surprising.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
I think it has also to do with the amazing ending part.
Oh yeah, man.
And
It's just the first time I heard it, I was
yeah,
I had goosebumps all over my body.
I think everybody, and that was exactly the feeling that Nightwish can create. And
Hey, by the way, you do know that for sure. The female vocals in the ending part is probably Flo Jansen.
definitely, but the speaking voice is
Not the speaking voice. I'm not talking that. I'm talking the male choir that's backing her up in the ending bit. Is that actually Malco and
I don't
Troy?
think so. I don't think so.
I do not think so. I think it's a choir actually backing her
I
up.
also think it's a choir.
Fuck it, it sounds awesome.
Also, a few people asked me this question, which was pretty surprising in the comments with my Shoemaker reaction video. And I also mentioned that I think it is a choir because it just sounds like a big choir.
It just sounds like a big
you
choir.
have Marco and Troy a lot on backing vocals on this album, which is absolutely fantastic. And in this one, I think it's just Flo with her operatic voice. Finally used right in Nightwish song. Finally.
I can't say anything different.
Because it's
perfect.
just like, thanks God, finally. And I think everybody who knew and Flo Jansen before and After Forever, and she was singing 90% of After Forever songs in that style, was just like on the last album, where is her great voice? It was just like that.
I couldn't stand listening to an album that was 100%
Yeah.
bad. But
For me, now, not anymore. At that time, definitely. Definitely.
But another thing that I really have to mention, I mean, throughout the entire record, it's the same, but it was the first time that I really, really noticed it and couldn't listen beyond that. I really had to focus on that, is the drumming on this song and the entire record is fucking phenomenal.
And
it is sick, man.
And that is exactly what I'm talking about also in Endless Forms Most Beautiful. I talk
Yeah.
about that I was not happy with the drumming. We all know Kayato is a great, amazing drummer, but it doesn't feel like he was involved, and he wasn't, because he had to learn the songs in a few days.
Yeah.
And now you can really
And
hear.
he shines. He really shines.
And now you can hear also in every fill that he's playing. It's just like, yeah, exactly that was missing on the last album. What I'm talking about, it's just like, it felt unnatural on the last album.
Maybe.
On some points, not every part, but in this record it just feels natural, and it's just like he is part of the band now.
Yeah, most definitely. I think his part in the band is by now probably bigger than Troy's part in the band. I don't know how much Troy participated in the guitars on this record.
I don't know,
but he. By the way, I don't have any complaints about Troy on this record. Disclaimer.
Not.
There is not a single thing that he did that I can say anything bad about.
No.
Not at all. All right? And that is, we still have Harvest ahead, so spoilers. But no, the drummer just fucking nailed it. With this song in particular, it stood out to me the most. Yeah. And How's the Heart? Because he keeps mimicking. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Wait.
Yeah, I have to wait.
But,
fuck. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Shoemaker, I have to tell one more thing, if you haven't seen my reaction video, because I love the speaking part, absolutely, I just love it. This line from Romeo and Juliet, my favorite movie, which is absolutely amazing that they use that, because it catches me, of course. It is just like,
I don't have the connection to the movie.
For me, it was just like, okay, they're really using it? Because I wasn't sure, and I read the lyrics through the internet, because I haven't this version of the album here. I was just like, they really used that thing. And the speaking voice is Tuomas' wife, Joanna Kokila, which have amazing speaking voice. I
wouldn't go as far as saying she has an amazing speaking voice, but in this context,
she has an amazing speaking voice, and I listen to a lot of her music without knowing that she's the wife of Tuomas. That's curious, but I love the part. So Shoemaker is an amazing song, and that proved that Tuomas still got it when it comes to songwriting.
Oh yeah.
Because in the last album,
He was lacking in that department a lot.
But that can happen in some period of your life. So no singer that got that.
Dude, it's like people are getting this wrong a lot. I think it's not like we're blaming him. It's just sometimes you have better ideas than other times.
Yeah. And that time definitely better ideas. Then we come to the second single of the album. You all know I like it, and I still like it, and I still think it's one of the most.
It's one of the highlights of this record.
It's
one of the first.
It's just like, because I'm curious, because the first time
I was like,
yeah, and
it's okay.
Yeah, but I told him also there were only the 2 songs out, Noise and Harvest, and we talked, I think, before one of our album review videos a few weeks later, that I just listened to this by loop. And then YouTube decided to play Noise, and was just like, now I want to listen to Harvest again.
Yeah.
Because in the first way, you're not sure what's gonna happening, but when you one time into this chorus, it's just like you have...
The chorus is actually not the thing that sells me the most about the song, even though I really like the song a lot.
It's going to be like...
It's going to be a live killer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, come on, even... Dude, I didn't focus on lyrics while listening to this record at all. But the one chorus that I really do know in and out is that one. Because it's just so fucking damn catchy. And by the way, Troy, A-class.
Absolutely.
I mean, I wish that he, later in the song, during the end or something, he had opened up a little more, that I wished for. But, yeah, well, the way it is, it's perfectly fine. Yeah. But he, on the other hand, it's a pretty smart move, because if you're trying to outclass Floor Jansen, like with vocal strength, you're gonna lose that fight. Yeah. So maybe that was probably the reason why he kept it calm. But hey, it's perfectly fitting, and I really do like the song a lot, and I really do like the chorus a lot. However, what really got me,
the middle part.
I don't know what you call the middle part, but let's call it the solo.
Yeah, because it's a middle bar with a pipe and guitar solo.
Yeah, because and keyboard as well. Yeah, so it is. That was the proper way of soloing in Nightwish, and we haven't had that since. Yeah. I would even go as far as saying Oceanborn was the last time they had this kind of solo in there.
Yeah, for me it reminded me a bit of the way they used the solo part of I Want My Tears Back, just from the pipes and the guitar together. Yeah. And it went really long, and then they slow a bit down and going back to it. So it has a bit for me that feeling, which isn't a bad thing, because I Want My Tears Back is a great song. But for me it has this feeling with a way better melody fitting through the whole song. And it, for me, many people, that is the most hated song on the internet. Because
Harvest?
Yeah, because Flo is not singing, just in the background,
and which, by the way, they killed that.
Absolutely. So I have no idea why the people are complaining, because when you were on the tour, from the Decades tour, and have heard Troy singing The Carpenter, it was just like, it is so cool that Thomas
it's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, because I think that was where the idea came from this song. Yeah. Thomas heard the Carpenter version, and it's just like Troy need a song of his own.
Yeah.
And for damn sure he has written the perfect song for him.
Yeah.
Because
and on top of all that, this song accomplishes something that probably none of the other tracks on this record do. It gives me a feeling of nostalgia for the song, even though to me it is brand new. Yeah. And I have listened to it, let's say 20 times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or I don't know how much I listened to this record, I don't know. Yeah. But for what reason ever, it gives me this feeling of nostalgia. Yeah. Because especially the solo bit. Yeah. It's just like, it feels like the olden days, whereas it is in reality.
And that was with Troy, that is so curious.
Yeah.
But that makes it so great. So I like the song from the very first second, on the first reaction.
Yeah. Even though I don't like, I'm not, I don't want to use the word because the song, another song is called that, but I don't like the tribal feel of the intro too much. Yeah, because it reminded me of a very, 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 very bad song that I once wrote.
Really, because for me it's curious because Thomas Troy and his wife has also a solo project called Auri. Maybe you heard about that?
Maybe the name.
And the curious thing, I will show you the song right after recording. The first track on their album started exactly like Harvest.
Okay.
Many people were complaining about that.
No, it's not a deal breaker or anything. I mean, the
but
song
when
is
you
well
you
worth
can copy
listening.
yourself when
Yeah,
it's
of
good,
course.
that is nothing bad. But it
I mean, unless the song is exactly the same.
Yeah,
But
so-
for fuck's sake, let's for example, all right, Motorhead and Ozzy Osbourne, undoubtedly two of the greatest household names in rock and metal music. But the song Hellraiser was co-written by Lemmy from Motorhead and Ozzy fucking Osbourne, and the song appeared on both their records that were recent at the time.
Yeah.
So it is both a Motorhead track and it's both and a Ozzy Osbourne track, and it's not a cover by either one of them.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
fuck it, a
absolutely-
good idea is a good idea, and
Yeah.
the songs sound, different enough
Yeah.
that sometimes I prefer one version over the other. So
And that
Stop
is
complaining about
really the song I'm looking forward to the most to see live.
I hear you. I hear you. It's just,
I can
imagine
imagine-
the crowd singing along. This is
Yeah,
like-
this is going to be crazy.
it's gonna be a fucking hell of a party.
And I think everybody who's complaining
And
about the song,
especially since people only take out their phones to record their favorite songs. This is not one of their favorite songs. Everybody's gonna keep their fucking
Yeah.
phones in their pockets and sing along and have a ball.
hopefully, because I think in a few years the people who complaining now about the song will definitely be silent after the next
Silenced.
Silenced.
They're gonna be silenced by
After-
the live performance.
Yeah, by the live performance and maybe the next outcoming DVD for that tour when they're maybe not able to be on the concert and just see the live reaction because it's going to be
It's gonna be
amazing.
massive. Massive.
I think that's going to be one of the highlights of the whole tour.
I think
so. Hopefully, the tour will happen in the end of November here in Germany. Hopefully, because the lineup is so amazing. But we come now to the next song called Pan. Also, a keyboard sound song from the very first second, and also for me, just like how we have the great keyboard melodies back again.
Yeah, I mean, this song. You told me like a couple of weeks back that this is probably your least favorite song of this record.
No. That is
All right. Okay, that comes later.
no. I like that. I like Pan.
All right, because I fucking love this song.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked about the drums earlier, but this whole compression thing, level thing, is never more relevant on this record than in this song. Like, fucking hell, this is exactly what Yours Is an Empty Hope would have needed. It's like when the drums kick in,
I kick in.
they kick in and you feel it. This song is A-class from start to finish. Even though in the latter half of the song, the feeling they went for reminds me a lot of Dimmu Borgir.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like them. But if I listen to Nightwish, I don't want to hear Dimmu Borgir.
For me, it's a different thing. That is, in the beginning, I was thinking about Sonata Arctica also in the earlier days.
All right.
So I know Thomas and Tony Kakko, the singer of Sonata Arctica, are really good friends. And Thomas also said at the beginning yes, that he was really inspired by Sonata Arctica. And I can hear that, especially when you listen to the album The Ninth Hour by Sonata Arctica, just from the keyboard sounds and the feeling. And that is a good feeling because it has this fantasy vibe feeling from the melody.
Fantasy is true.
And like storytelling feeling through music, which is amazing. It's just like you have pictures in your mind.
And it's funny that you say that, because I was about to say that however much Thomas Holopainen is going to try to create the next soundtrack for an imaginary movie,
Yeah.
Imaginarium aside, this is as close as it gets to a soundtrack. This is how you do it.
Yeah.
You don't need a eyes of Sharbat Gula
Yeah, exactly.
thing.
Exactly.
This is how you do it. That got my imagination going.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I remember in one of our videos for one of the other records, we were like, for fuck's sake, let us dream again.
Yeah.
I think it was you saying that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this song achieved it.
Definitely. Because it has this fancy dream feeling
Yeah.
from the first second.
Yeah.
And that is so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, a great chorus, not the catchiest one, which is needed in such kind of a song, because it would ruin it if you have these
Yeah.
and this form's most beautiful or something.
Yeah.
It's just like dun, 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 and it fits perfect to the song. And it's a great chorus.
Especially the vocal line. Na, 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 na. It's just,
Yeah,
I don't know what it is about that whole arrangement. It's not only the vocal line, but
also the heavy parts, also with the guitar.
they finally are happy.
Absolutely, but when the kick and the last time when you don't expect that,
Yeah.
and it's just like again, and you just like,
And by the
damn,
way,
they're
the
so heavy.
guitar sound.
Definitely amazing.
Yeah, I don't know if they actually changed the guitar sound, which I'm sure about, or
Yeah.
I mean, which I'm certain about, or if they just changed something in the engineering process.
I have no idea,
But whatever the fuck they did, it works.
absolutely.
And
And that's a perfect example for the whole record. Is Pan with
Yeah.
the guitar sound
Yeah.
because it's so punchy.
Yeah.
It's just like
and by the way, it feels heavy
Yeah.
without trying to feel
like
heavy.
yours isn't happy hope again.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's the perfect example.
Yeah.
Because it is just like you can feel the heaviness, and also here the songwriting structure of it. It's just like you don't expect that, and that it kicks in your face, and it's just like, yeah, finally, thanks God.
And by the way, again, a couple weeks back, you told me that there is a lot of folks complaining about this record not being a record, a metal record anymore.
yeah.
And by the way,
Hey, welcome to the party, pal.
it's like people have been saying that about Nightwish from the beginning of Nightwish time.
Yeah.
And you're a little late to the party, folks. So if you're expecting the hardest heavy metal record in history, don't buy a fucking Nightwish record. So,
Definitely not,
and
yeah.
by the way, this album is way heavier than Endless Form's Most Beautiful.
In a completely different way, but
In a
in the
completely
perfect
different
way better.
Yeah.
And that is what the most people don't understand. You don't need the most fastest riff or heaviest
No.
riff. It is like
It just has to have the feeling.
and it has to fit into the song and the production, everything. And that was, I think, Pan for me is the most heaviest one from the feeling.
Yeah.
Because it, especially the guitar song, is so amazing in this one. It's so amazing. I just love it.
And the rhythm.
Ampo has called it Pancake. The song. I have no idea what that is all about, but they released some videos about that, what every song is all about, and I watched only once one of these videos, and that was for Pan, because I want to hear Ampu saying something in English, because I think I've never heard him speaking before. Because they have never done interviews or something.
Well, in Finnish you had.
And the video is, I think, a few seconds long. And you're just like, yeah, the next one is Pancake. And here's...
And that was that?
Yeah, I think. Something like that. I'm not sure, you can tell me that in the comments, of course. But I thought it was really funny. I was just want to hear Ampu saying something in English, because I was curious about that. So yeah, coming now, for me, I'm not sure, but definitely one of the big highlights for me, and it really touches me, House the Heart, for me absolutely strikes me in the heart, really. It absolutely touches me. From the lyrics, the best song on the album for me, because it feels also a bit like the old days, in a completely different angle of view, because Thomas is older now.
He's matured.
And that is exactly that, because I'm older also now. I'm also 20 years older now, and I see things are way different than 20 years ago. And exactly that is what this song is all about, for me personally. So I absolutely love this track, House the Heart.
Well, I didn't analyze the lyrics. As I said, I was solely focusing on the music. And
That is enough to love it.
and I tried as much as I possibly could to leave the vocals or not the vocals, sorry, the lyrics out. Of course, naturally, I couldn't. but yeah, I'm gonna try, at least for this reaction, to focus on what's being heard only. And the first thing you hear on this track is that heartbeat.
Yeah, rhythm.
No, not in the rhythm. Only that heartbeat. I don't know how if they actually applied a monitor to a human heart.
I'm pretty sure
that would be fucking amazing because you know, heart rates change all the time. But this heartbeat that they give you in the beginning of the track actually is in the correct tempo of the song, and especially when the song kicks in.
And they also had the drum, the heartbeat.
The bass drum continues the heartbeat. That is such a genius move.
And that is so difficult to use.
It is. Fuck, I couldn't do it.
Because that is really unusual to use.
But it's funny that nobody else, you know, had that idea before. It's like, at least no record that I listened to had that.
Yeah, because also I have done a reaction video for this song. Because at that time, I was, when I recorded that, I was really emotional. Maybe you saw my reaction video for that.
Maybe I have to check it out.
Yeah, because at that point I was just like, I needed to listen to that song. And it was just like, and it felt so great that I have this feeling again that I have to listen to a Nightwish song. Because that is for me so cool that I just have the feeling just, I need to listen to that song now. I need it. Not I want to do it, I need it.
I had that with several songs of this record.
And that is so great. And house style, also the melody, also with the focus style. That is the perfect example why this song works way better than a song like My Walden, which has the same idea from the melodies.
I was shit surprised that I wasn't annoyed by this folkish intro.
And now because the song is great.
Not even the first time listening. Well, I didn't know what the song was going to be like. But usually by now, I mean, I've been listening to a lot of folk metal like a couple of years ago, which is probably why I don't like folk metal too much in general nowadays.
But the melodies are great.
Yeah, it didn't annoy me. Not even the first time listening to it.
And also the vocal line is just so great. So they use it in the verses and the chorus that speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Because it's just like that is so great because it has this folkish feeling.
I don't know if you can call it that.
Yes, but for me, but in the best positive way ever. It's just like it feels so
what I like
beautiful
about it the most.
Yeah,
is that it works both loud and very soft.
Yeah,
it's like that is probably my favorite part of the entire fucking record. It's when they were really soften it down.
Yeah. But for me also, I mentioned that in my reaction video for that. What for me, from the songwriting standpoint, is so before they're silent, before the last chorus, it's just like instrumentation. It's just like instrumentation playing like dum dum dum, and then they how's the heart, and every other band would just use like how's the heart, and then they go silent.
Yeah.
But they just use the instrumentation.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so great because that is great songwriting. That is exactly these few seconds that makes a great songwriter, and that's a different. So many people are wondering. There are so many symphonic metal bands out there with great musicians, great vocalists.
No doubt about that.
And why are Nightwish so successful and they don't? They are not. And that is exactly, these few seconds are the reason why. Because that is the special feeling that Nightwish has.
Not only that, but that's definitely a big part of it.
Definitely.
But I won't go into detail why I think other symphonic metal bands are not successful.
No, and they...
Especially since I don't want to shit on them.
No.
I mean, they deserve their spot. Don't get me wrong.
You all know me here on my channel. I'm a big fan of many
Pretty much every symphonic metal
No,
band out
not
there.
every, but a lot of them, and a lot of them are also extremely successful. But Nightwish is also the primus of the whole scene, and I think will ever be.
Yeah, probably.
In the next 20 years or something.
Well, if they continue to put out albums, not
Yeah.
like that, but in the same vein of being fresh.
It's just like Nightwish. Since
There you go.
a year, it's just like a good album, a bad album, good album, bad album. So I'm really afraid for the next album now. But yeah, House the Heart, absolutely amazing.
It is.
It's great to hear that you love it too, but I have no doubt about
Dude,
that.
it's just it gets stuck in your head.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the song that gets stuck in your head the most is undoubtedly Noise, in my opinion, because of that Brave New World. Bit, because I always think of the album and the song Brave New World by Iron Maiden. But
Okay.
but
I don't have that feeling because I don't listen to Iron Maiden.
see, but this song got stuck in my head so many times. Which is a pain in the ass when you're sitting at work and your coworker is listening to the fucking radio that you can't stand.
You have a radio at work?
No, she plays it off the internet. You can play radio stations off the internet. I didn't know that either. But she plays it. Rather good radio station for it being a radio station. But however, it's like, come on, it's playing fucking, I don't know, Summer of '69 for the 10th time today. And I want to listen to How's the Heart. That is torture, man. It's torture. Even though Summer of '69 is a good song, but you know what I mean.
I remember
Got my first real sex dream.
No, but the thing I remember about the song is so curious because that was your first concert.
Yeah.
And I was just running into the arena, the stadium, and it was just like another band, not another band, but another guy was just playing the Summer of '69.
On my first concert?
Before the show started.
Ah, alright.
2 hours before something. Here, the guy with the mixing and...
The asshole, you mean?
I don't know him personally, so...
Yeah, he was an asshole.
Yeah, but...
He promised me beer, which I didn't get. That was all I was supposed to get for playing that gig.
Yeah, especially in the stadium. So, now...
I wouldn't settle for anything less.
But now we come to track number 7. Procession, a really interesting track.
This time, I'm not going to even try to be first with my thoughts.
Okay.
I'll let you go first.
I like it. That's my first thought. Also mentioned in my first thought reaction video that in this song there's not happening so much from the melodies because it's more or less the same melody through the whole song, which isn't a bad thing. And I have no idea why these song works so well, but it definitely does. And I'm wondering why. And it's
Really? That is so curious.
and it's absolutely needed on this album. I have to tell you something. The only, I don't want to call it bad thing, but for me, overacting thing is, and then came Sapien, and when they kicked in, it's just like, that was for me a bit too much. That was the only thing I don't want to say I didn't like about the song, because I like the song and it makes sense. And if I would have written the song, I would have this great instrumentation exactly at this sentence as well. I absolutely get it why he has done that, because it's just like, and then comes Sapien.
I'm so surprised that you do like this song.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm so surprised because I really thought we would disagree on. Because I really like the song, man.
I was sure that you're gonna like it. That is the funniest thing about it. Because I thought before we talked about that this is going to be your favorite song on the album.
No, that's not the case.
But
it's probably, if I had to choose one.
We have to get to the end to
Alright.
do that. But that was my first idea that probably can be your favorite song.
It has this let's call it hypnotic quality to it through repetition.
Because it's the same melody all over?
Yeah, but it's not meant or created in a boring way.
No,
It's like,
definitely
it's
not.
like there is songs out there, when you hear the main riff for the second time, it's boring.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's definitely not the case with this
Absolutely
song.
not.
And it takes a lot of time to build up to this
Sapien moment.
beast, I would have almost said that it becomes.
Yeah.
But it works perfectly fine, and I'm surprised myself that I like it.
Absolutely.
I'm so surprised. But however, this is probably the song with best backing vocals.
That is hard to choose because the backing
It is
vocals
hard
on
to choose. They are great throughout.
They're really
But-
great throughout. That is the problem because that is the
That's
best backing vocal Nightwish album ever.
No doubt about that.
Because they use the voices so perfect in there. Also, that Marco is not so in the front and don't have so much solo part. Also in the last
Yeah.
song, but also that there is no duet with Floor like a song like Dare to the World,
Yeah.
Planet Hell, something like that. Because it doesn't need it
And-
because the backing vocals are so perfect.
Yeah,
in
and
this.
they use them in the pan very well. It's like Troy and Marco, they do not come blasting through both speakers at the same loudness level. It's like one is a little more on the right, one is a little more on the left, and I really like that a lot. Again, the mix on this record, I cannot state enough how much I love the mixing on this record, and especially since the mastering didn't just crank it up to 11 to win the loudness war. So no, that's the thing going on, the loudness war. Check it out. It's like stupid, and it's exactly what happened with the last record, that it got compressed to the max. And this song is probably the most breathing one out of them all.
Yeah.
It's just it feels so open and endless, if you will. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just your imaginary space gets wider while listening to this track.
Yeah, and it's absolutely also
it's a mandatory track to have on this list,
Yeah,
because
it has to be there.
yeah, especially after How Is the Heart.
Yeah, because
how could you top that?
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
couldn't.
Also,
you need a filler. I don't want to call it that because it's not.
because it's absolutely needed.
But it's needed to have
Yeah.
a song that is just
Silent down a bit.
and calm down for a bit.
because for me, from personal perspective, House the Heart for me is so emotional that I need this time to breathe after it. Because it's just like House the Heart is not a heavy one or something, it's just like a beautiful one. It is. But you need time to let that beautiful feeling just, I don't want to let it go because you want to grab it, but it's just like, okay, just calm down.
Yeah.
And then we come to, for me, the most difficult number, and for me the least favorite on the album, track number 8, Tribal. For me, definitely the least favorite. Now I can tell it. I wasn't sure. I was, in my first thought reaction video, I was like between Noise and Tribal, which is my least favorite. But now I can say it after 1.5 months that Tribal is my least favorite. I know a lot of people love that song, what I've read it so far, also my channel or other channels. But I'm not sure, and I think the main thing about it that it reminded me just from the structure and how the song it went, it just reminded me so of Romanticide. When you just have that feeling from the first 2.5 minutes, and then there is that break, and then the drums go in, and they have that last part that is exactly how Romanticide is written from the song.
Yeah, but come on, you can't reinvent the wheel. Every now and then you gotta use a structure that's been there before.
But for me, that is a problem because for me, Romanticide isn't better. And that's the problem.
To me, it isn't. To me, it isn't.
I was really sure just by your face what I'm watching, because your poker face is not here anymore.
Well, I gave up. I gave up on it.
But I'm really curious about that, what you have to say about Tribal, because I don't say it's a bad song. It is way better for me than everything on Endless Forms Was Beautiful. Not everything, but nearly everything. But for me, it's just like, it doesn't hit me like the other tracks before, and that's the problem.
It didn't hit me like the other tracks before. At first, it was probably the song I was most skeptic about.
From the title? Or
from the title, because, I mean, it gives away what the song is going to be like. Yeah. Come on, it's called Tribal, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And again, I've had my folk metal years, and I'm way past that by now, for better or for worse. And I was expecting it to be for the worse, because I was like, they're gonna enter this territory. Oh, this is gonna be. And you know, the first, I don't know, 2, 3 to maybe 5 times listening through this record, I was like, it's like I didn't know what to make of it. But eventually, I let my guards down, and I was like, fuck it, let's just accept it that I really like the song. Especially the bit that is, you know, to some folks, I'm certain it is cringeworthy. To others, it's laugh out loud funny, and to the third party again, it's just great. The
part I don't like, because you know why I don't like it? Because I'm not sure. Have you ever seen a live performance of The Greatest Show on Earth?
No.
So
I didn't like the song on the record. Why should I watch it on a DVD?
Yeah, but that is just a question, because I'm not also a fan of this song. We mentioned that a lot in the last video. And in the part, one silent part of this long song, when the animal noises came on, Marco just do that. Like, and he reminded me so of that.
That's a pity.
Because it's just like, he's just like in The Great Show, exactly like in Tribal, and that reminded me so much of it. And
that's a pity.
I also thought, okay, they don't have it on the record of Endless One's Most Beautiful, but on every live version. And I think that was where the idea came from Thomas, to use that in a song, because obviously he liked it. But for me, it just like, that is exactly that part. And also, I don't like the singing of Floor Jansen in the end.
I do. I do.
I'm not a fan of it, but that is not so surprised, because when it comes to something like that, we almost disagree every time when it comes to singing. But it's just like the chorus of The Carpenter or something.
Yeah,
that is, for me, it is obvious that we disagree.
Yeah.
And I knew that.
And why.
I knew that.
But especially that bit with the hoo-ha stuff. That was what at first I was like, it was this close to being cringy.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, it was this close to being laugh out loud funny, because I was instantly reminded of no money to danka. It's like, I was this close. You know, eventually I was like, okay, fuck it, I won't go for this end of the spectrum, neither am I going to go for this side of the spectrum. And I just settled in the middle, where it was like, okay, I can accept it for what it is, and try not to be biased by what I think, but actually go with what I hear. And then I found it to be very pleasing. I was shit skeptic about this song.
That is so surprising.
But
I never thought that.
Me neither, especially with a title like Tribal.
I'm so confused.
I went in there being like, shit, this is gonna suck. And I mean, with the entire record, but with this song in particular as well. Okay. I went in like, this is gonna be so shit. And it's gonna be a chore to listen to, and I have to listen to it at least a good dozen times to, you know, have a actual thing to say about the record. And no, I was wrong. I really dig this track.
I think that is the most surprising part now here on this reaction video, for me. With most of the song,
I thought noise would be a most surprising thing, but I do not hate it anymore.
No, because for me it was the same feeling, and we are when it comes to Nightwish, we have, I mean, we have the same list when it comes to our favorites albums. So I'm very curious about what we found in the end when we rank our albums.
I haven't thought about that yet.
Now you have to, but before that, we come to the last song called Endlessness, and yeah. For me, also not a
earlier. He used the word unnecessary to describe this song on this record. That was a couple of weeks ago. So
for me, honestly, the album could have stopped after Procession, because I don't need Tribal, I don't need Endlessness on the album. It doesn't mean that there are bad songs, especially Endlessness, because there are many parts I really like about. So I think also it's cool that Troy has his own song and Marco has his own song. It's better than this duet thing, because they used it so many times. It's better that way, and it's it's the second track that Marco on its own on a Nightwish level, and it's way better than Master Passion Greed, which we both don't like. And I know that Floor has also the part in Endlessness, but it's a Marcus song. And what I like about that is the beginning. Because in this mid-tempo, you have the feeling it's the end of an album, and that is what I like.
Yeah.
That is,
You want to know what I like about this song? Everything.
yeah, that is so.
I really like this
Yeah.
song. It's not the one that I would select on purpose to listen to
Yeah,
this
that's
song
also
alone.
very surprising.
But it is a perfectly fine. No, I would even go as far as saying a great ending track for a record.
I agree with the ending. That is exactly what I started now with my sentence. That is, I absolutely understand why this is the ending track, and if it's perfect for an ending track, because it reminds me of the old Stratovarius stuff. Timo Tolkki, the songwriter, has a lot of exactly some kind of melodies with this extremely low mid-tempo song, just like. And that is the perfect way to end an album like that. And that is what I like about the song. Marcus' vocals are really good.
A-class.
Because-
A-class. The best that he's done in years.
Yeah, because in the last album we talked about that it was sometimes a bit annoying. And now they have a song where he just fit perfect. And that is also, I like that song. It's just like, I don't love it.
I do.
That is great, and I haven't expected that, really, honestly. Because for me, I can listen to it, and for an ending number, it's absolutely perfect. But for me, it's nothing so special. I know also what I've read in the whole internet that a lot of people love that song. A lot of people.
Fuck,
a lot of people.
I'm such a hipster now.
That is, but for me also as surprising as the whole people love Shoemaker.
Yeah.
Because
True.
there are other songs that I have expected that were more into the, I don't want to call it mainstream because that is so mean. That song is so mean.
Mainstream songs on this record would have been Noise and How's the Heart.
I think House to Heart would also, I talked about that in my reaction video, would be the way better first single because it represents the whole album way better than Noise.
Well, the song that
do.
represents the album best is Music.
Yeah, but for a single you have to
Yeah,
have,
for a single, yeah, How's the Heart? Yeah,
because,
definitely.
Because I talked about that I absolutely understand why Noise was the first single. I absolutely understand it from the band perspective and the company perspective. Absolutely. But when I've listened to the whole album, I think House to Heart has the perfect length of the song, the perfect feeling that represents the whole album. And they also created
The perfect catchiness.
Absolutely, and they created also a really beautiful lyric video for that. They have a lyric video for every song of it, but that is the most beautiful one. But that was the only decision I haven't understand, because for me as Nightwish, I would have released House to Heart at first, and then Harvest as they have as their second single, because that would left the people so curious, because then when they have would have heard Noise the first time, that would be surprising.
Yeah.
And it would definitely work better than they have it before.
Well, that's all in the past. We can't change that now.
Yeah.
But all in all, I'm pretty glad that they released Noise first, because that got me on the hate train.
Yeah.
And I think without having that resignation about Nightwish, where I thought, yeah, I'm really over this scheme that he's operating in, I don't think that I would have loved the album as much, because I really go as far as saying I love this record, not only liking it. I really can see myself listening to this album from here on out. It's not that I'm only gonna listen to it for this review thingy, but this album I'm actually gonna listen to a lot more. Whereas, let's say, Endless Form's Most Beautiful probably doesn't stand as much of a chance to end on a continuous loop on my record on my stereo anytime soon again.
That is so funny because I know exactly when this album came out, and we talked about that, and the first sentence he gave to me, it's just like, I know that's not going to be a record I would listen to by my own anytime.
Really?
Yes.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
I'm glad you don't have that on camera.
And now I have to go on the toilet, and you can speak about endlessness, what you love about that.
Endlessness, I thought we were through with that already.
You have now 2 minutes to talk about that.
Is he really taking a leak during a video?
Yeah. It's my channel.
Piss off.
I'm pissed off. Hopefully
Piss off.
not, because I just cleaned my... It doesn't matter.
Alright, this is gonna be a weird and awkward situation because I never talked to a camera before on my own. However, what we didn't target yet already is my overall thoughts on this record that I wanted to say from the first minute, but I wasn't allowed to because this little pisser... I don't know.
I heard that.
He's screaming from the restroom, alright? So, he got the chance to say what is his least favorite song on this record. So I'm gonna try and declare a least favorite song on this record for me, which is a tougher choice than I would have expected. I probably would go with...
Oh, you heard that.
Yeah, I did. I'm trying to figure out my least favorite song of this record right now.
Oh, yeah.
I know for you it's Tribal, but
For you it's...
I'm not sure yet. If I had to declare one, it would probably be...
Now it's going to be interesting. It's so great, I have to say it, that you really have over 20 seconds now and don't have a least favorite, because that is the best compliment that Nightwish ever got with a new album.
All of them! They're all of them my least favorite.
That is...
I like them pretty much equally.
That is actually the most surprising thing, because I think when it comes to him, he's here, my angry guest.
Yeah, how angry have I been during this review?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, so that is... But I want to hear it anyway. But what's your favorite? What's your favorite? We started easy.
Well, that's not easy. That's not
Easier.
Well, it depends on, first, my mood, and second, what I'm going for.
Now
it's
the mood you are in.
Well, right now I'm in an analyzing mood, so from a songwriting point of view, Shoemaker is definitely my favorite on this record.
Okay.
When it comes to overall feel,
Yeah.
it's probably How's the Hot.
Yeah.
When it comes to catchiness, I'm sorry, and I hate myself for saying that, it's noise. when it comes to nostalgia stop it! When it comes to this overall Nightwish feel.
I know what we're gonna do in our future project.
So, oh fuck. So, when it comes to Nightwish feel, I think I get the most out of music.
Yeah.
When it comes to fuck, I want to experience that life, it's most certain Harvest.
Definitely.
When it comes to I want to dream along, it's Pan. So when I imagine myself in a lonely place, it probably would be Endlessness. So it's naming a favorite track is just as difficult as naming a least favorite one, but I think I would have to go with, for the least favorite one, Procession. Just because.
That is
No
surprising.
reason.
That's surprising.
No reason.
But it doesn't matter, because you like it all.
Except the second CD, because I listened to that. Didn't listen to that. And on top of all that, I was with talking about general thoughts on this record. He told me there's a lot of people complaining about this record being too short.
Yeah. But that's a good thing.
No, that's one of the best things, because it gave me the chance to listen to this album more often in less time.
Yeah, it's
So-
it is the shortest Nightwish album when you don't pull the second CD in, because it's 2 minutes shorter than Stormchild. But Stormchild is our favorite album, and it's also a short album,
It's still not short. There's guys putting out albums that are half an hour long.
Yeah. So that is a good thing, because many people were complaining about there is no great song like Ghost Love Score, a great song.
You don't need...
No, it's perfect the way it is. And for me personally, it could have
I wouldn't call it perfect.
For me, it could end it after
Because we
track
have to-
7, after 45 minutes, after 40 minutes. For me, it would be okay.
But still, I wouldn't call it perfect, because we have to give the album a ranking.
That is
and
going to
perfect
be-
is a 10 out of 10, and that, you know...
But we have to talk also, I want to... We don't talk about the second CD. I listened to it, and it's okay. But if you're a soundtrack lover like me or him,
Different-
it is just like
different soundtrack, though.
For me, it's just like it's not a Nightwish CD, and that is why we don't want to talk about that, because there is just Thomas Holopainen composing stuff, and the orchestra is playing.
But after I heard this album, like the first CD,
Yeah.
more than ever, I don't want to listen to the second CD. Because it's not going to make any...
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to make it better. It can only make it worse from here on out.
So there are beautiful melodies in it and great ideas.
Maybe
Yeah,
someday
definitely.
I will check
Yeah.
it out once or twice.
But it is just not needed, because the album also, without the second CD and only with 50 minutes playing time, but if you have 50 minutes playing time with good music, it's way better than you have 200 minutes playing time with shit music. So it's absolutely fantastic. I don't need the second CD. I don't want to call it bad or worse or something.
I can't
It's
call
just
it
like,
anything.
It's just
Maybe
like
unnecessary.
it is. You can listen to it, and it's just like
It's there.
yeah, it's there,
there.
and I have no problem with it, and I think there are beautiful parts in it. But for me, it's just like not a Nightwish record. If Thomas would have released that as his own solo project, would be perfectly fine. But for me, it's just like not a Nightwish track. But tell me your thoughts about that in the comments, of course, what you think about the second CD, because I think a lot of
And what do
people...
you think of this review?
Also, if people never listen to music soundtracks, maybe they're absolutely impressed by the second CD. If they never listen to some kind of music...
Well, they do listen to soundtracks all the time without noticing it while watching a movie.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people never listen to a soundtrack by purpose.
On purpose.
Just to listen to the music. So nothing against the second CD. I can get the idea also for Thomas Holopainen as a songwriter that he wants to have the attention for the Nightwish name over it, and that is no problem with it.
Yeah.
I would have done the same maybe. I have no idea, because
We're
is
light
his
years
band.
away from this guy's level.
And I also can understand this human nature thing, and it's a cool concept for an album, and the idea is good. I was just expecting that Nightwish is used as a band on the second CD with the whole instrumentation. It would have a 38-minute instrumentation track with a whole instrumentation. Maybe there were parts off just with orchestra. It would be okay, because there are bands who have done a lot of great instrumental tracks. For me, funny thing, Equilibrium is for me the perfect example with instrumental tracks.
That's been a while since you showed me that one, but I remember it.
There are a 50-minute track by Equilibrium, and it's fucking amazing and never boring or something, and you have to do a 15-minute instrumental track who's not getting boring. That's
damn close to impossible.
Absolutely, yeah. So, but it is okay. The second CD, whoever loves it, perfect. You have another Nightwish CD, perfect. But we are just not a fan
But
of
generally speaking, if you don't own this already,
it. Buy it.
I wouldn't go as far as saying buy it, but buy
Steal
it.
it. Steal
Buy
it.
it, steal it, listen to it on YouTube, Spotify, whatever you have on your hands.
Yeah.
Probably we shouldn't say that people should steal, because I really think that is probably illegal. But listen to it any way you can. It's well worth checking out. And that is coming from my mouth. So if you don't take his word for it, take mine. This record is A-OK.
So.
A+. It's
And
awesome.
now we come after we started this in the beginning of February.
Yeah, some things have changed since then.
And we have our ranking, and we are both agreed with our ranking. And now I was thinking about, as I told you earlier, I definitely know it's not the
The least favorite
the
one.
least favorite one. That is for sure. I also can tell you it's not my second least favorite one. And then
I would agree with that.
And then we have maybe to talk about that because it's getting difficult. So we have on number one, the Stormchild. This is undoubtedly forever.
And nothing will ever change
No.
that. Come on.
Never.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's just because of nostalgia and all that good jazz. We told you that a million times.
Yeah. Then the second Wishmaster also.
Same story. It's impossible to change that.
Imagine album, honestly.
It is right now, at least.
So, and then we come to the difficult part because then we have the Oceanborn Angel for first. And then I'm wondering.
Dude, I was already saying so far it has been our third number three.
Because for me it is just like, it is for me on number 4. For me, Imaginarium is.
No, Imaginarium still is
3.
on number 3 in your list. I think it is in mine as well. However, now shit hits the fan. But you say your stuff first, all right?
Yeah. So I think, of course, it's so difficult because it's a new Nightwish album out, and I have this.
This is a momentary record, all right? It can't change over the years again.
And that is exactly what I'm talking about. So I think when I just listened to this, like Imaginarium album came out in 2011, so 9 years. When I listened to this album, 9 years.
Then we can talk.
Then we can talk. But I think that Imaginarium is a bit stronger. But I put it over Oceanborn and Angel Fall first.
Do you?
And Once. And Dark Passion Play. And definitely Endless Forms Most Beautiful.
I would rank it the same level.
Really?
I would rank it the same level. I can rank it higher. I can't do that. I just can't.
Yeah.
But it's right up there.
Yeah. Because it
That's
has
how
this
good it
new,
actually is.
fresh...
And especially,
feeling.
hey, by the way, we're talking 3 albums sharing the 4th slot in our ranking. Angel Fall First, the first record, experimenting as hell, being innovative and being just inspired.
Yeah.
Oceanborn, more is more. They put their all and everything into it, being inspired as fuck.
Yeah.
And guess what? This record is inspired as fuck. This is what it is. It's an inspired record. And it's so great to hear that.
And also why this is for me a bit over-ranking than Oceanborn is just like it has this. Oceanborn was for the time the absolutely 100% album for the time 1998. Oh my god, what an album for 1998. But when it comes to Nightwish in 2020, it's just like there is this new feeling like Oceanborn at 1998.
That doesn't count, man. That doesn't count.
Yeah, but for me it has this feeling because it has this especially new, fresh, never heard feeling for Nightwish ranking, of course. And that makes it for me just beautiful because for me the songs are from the song point better than on the Oceanborn. So I love the Oceanborn as well, but when it comes just to the songs itself, they
I can't argue with that.
That is
I
difficult.
Can't argue.
That is difficult.
No, I can't argue with that. It's like, all right, I get it. It's true. It's true. However, again, we'll talk again in 9 years, as you said.
Yeah.
Then we can talk.
Yeah.
But right now, my nostalgia for Oceanborn and Angels Fall First, still rank those way high. And for this album, even to climb up to the same level, is saying a lot. But I cannot go beyond that.
Yeah, I absolutely understand that. And as you said, we talk in 9 years about that. No, I have to say in 5 years because
This is approximately the time it'll take them to bring out a new record.
first of all, that and Endless One's Most Beautiful was released 5 years ago, so that was the last album we reviewed, so that must be the
benchmark.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm very happy that he just loved the album.
Hey, so am I.
I wasn't 100% sure. I knew he's not gonna hate it. I also told you that.
But
I would be surprised.
expecting this.
Yeah, and that was exactly the point. I knew you don't want
even-
to hate it.
Even my girlfriend was surprised as fuck when I was like,
Really?
this album is great, you have to check it out. By the way, she doesn't like Nightwish at all, basically. No, not at all, but only a handful of songs. But she doesn't like Nightwish in general. But she knows that I do. And that's been an argument in our relationship for years. Whenever I'm feeling in the mood for a Nightwish and I'm just cranking the living shit out of my stereo, she's annoyed by default. So, but when I told her this album is fucking great, and I even told her that I'm pretty certain that she's gonna like a great chunk of it, she was giving me a look like, are you out of your fucking mind? She was just so confused. But Dude, I'm just...
Is there any song that she likes?
I don't think she has heard the album yet.
Okay.
Because I've been listening to it mostly on my car stereo or through headphones.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've shown her... Oh, maybe cooking in the kitchen I've cranked it a bit. Okay. So yeah, she has heard a handful of songs. And she didn't give me any feedback, though. Because if I demanded that, she would just say she hates it for the sake of saying she hates it. That was harder to pronounce than I thought.
So we come to the really important part because I know you people all listen to the new Nightwish album now nearly 2 months, and maybe you saw my first thought reaction video. But now we want your perspective after this nearly 2 months.
Yeah.
Because for me, my first thought album review, it was really my first thought on the same day the album came out. So I want your opinion now after nearly 2 months. That would be interesting because that is what we talked about after nearly 2 months.
And let's make a deal. If you have never commented a video before.
Just do a point, but just comment.
No, wait. We'll get to that. If you have never commented before.
Drink a Coke. But we don't commercial here.
Yeah. If you have watched the Countdown to Human Nature videos and were surprised by this bald-headed, bearded douchebag in this review, if you were surprised, leave a comment, any comment. Like, surprise motherfucker, or just...
Or a unique name for him.
A unique name for me, because that I really like. Take a Chill Pill Phil and all that good jazz.
Hard Rock Phil.
Hard Rock Phil, The Angry Guests. You name it. Come up with funny names for me, or just write 3 dots.
For me it's just like SC.
SC as Stormchild.
That's cool anyway, but the nickname
Hey
for
SC,
him,
how you doing?
yeah, but
so
the nickname
I need
for him
something.
are so much cooler.
I need a I need a hero.
I have to be a bit more angry. No, we won't do that. Oh no, the COVID shit, but it doesn't.
So if you were surprised by the outcome of this review, leave a comment. How about that?
Yeah. So I think.
So does that mean that I have to leave a comment?
Yeah.
I won't.
Yeah,
I'm in the video.
The problem is now we are really through. Now we are through this whole stuff. And
Now.
I think we will see us in 4 years with a new Nightwish album.
And we'll start
5
a
years.
new countdown and do this whole thing over again.
And the thing is,
Copy pasting our videos.
we are nearly 40 then.
Fuck you.
And that is really annoying. So hopefully Nightwish bring out an album in 2 years, because then
We're not old farts yet.
And I think the next time we have gray hairs.
Yeah, maybe you will.
No, I dye my hair. So, but you have a beard, so you can hide it.
Well, my girlfriend's working on that to turn it gray. And then I'll run around during Christmas time acting like I was Santa. No.
Yeah, so maybe if you next time don't recognize us,
It's because we grow old.
yeah, I'm so afraid.
Fuck it. Let's end it.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching all our videos. Maybe
By now it's gonna be probably 45,000 hours.
yeah. So if this is the first video watching with two guys of us together talking about Nightwish album review, we have album review for every single Nightwish album. You can find it here on my channel, also in a playlist with every single video on it. And maybe we will return one more time with a comment reaction video on this video if there are more than 50 comments. That is the challenge.
From 50 different people.
From 50 different people. That is the challenge. If we have over 50 different comments, we will do another video with reacting to the comments. That's the deal, oh?
That sounds like a cool idea.
Yeah. And I think that is maybe possible, I'm not sure, because I'm not the most successful guy on the internet, but...
Who the fuck cares? Successful, not successful. There's people out there that are obviously enjoying what you are doing and the two of us are doing right now.
Hopefully.
So, you're welcome, internet. Oh, by the way, I haven't done that since the first review. This is what the internet feels like. This is so weird.
So, guys, stay safe and save the beer. If you have watched other videos, you know what I'm talking about. And what else we have genau?
Rehashing the stupid most stuff we have said.
Yeah, I think that.
Fuck it. Let's just leave them for now.
Genau.
Let's
For now. So that was
But,
planned. That is so cool.
but hey, it's for sure gonna it's not gonna be the last time that
No.
we're gonna present you some stupid video.
Definitely not. So thank you so much for your time. So
For staying
your
with us.
patience and hopefully for your comments and likes and dislikes. It doesn't matter. Just you have a reaction to our content.
Yeah.
And yeah, just tell us your thoughts, really your honest thoughts after 2 months of this album, because that is so interesting. And also, if you like it or not, just watch our other videos. And now come to the end.
If you like it or not, watch the other videos.
Yes, and now you have to do it one more time with your...
Alright. I'll do this one more time. Leave a like, subscribe, press the notification bell, stay tuned. See you the next time. He's the Stormchild. I
is Phil.
And na.
And we are out. Bye.